Hey guys, it's Derek from Pacific Coast Auto here, taking a look at an E30. This one here is a 3 Series M Technic version, which is quite a sought-after vehicle. Obviously lower in rank than the E30 M3, but nonetheless is one that people want to get their hands on because the coupe body style with the 2 doors is very good looking, and then the M Technic has the sports package for the suspension, exterior and interior trim pieces. I think it might also have a few other things, but I don't know for sure. We got helicopters. Noisy. A lot of US military aircraft in this area. They're always flying over. Okay, so this one here is a 2-liter engine. You can get the M Technic in Japan with the 2-liter inline 6 or the 2.5-liter inline 6. I find the 2-liter to be a tad slow, but it's a very nice, responsive feeling engine, so it feels very high quality compared to most 2-liter engines. Part of that is being a 6-cylinder will make it feel smoother, and boy does it ever. But for being a 6-cylinder, it's very responsive, and so very good engine. I like it very much. The oil and the coolant both check out fine, and typical of the E30, the sound deadening material on there is peeling and is falling into the engine, causing little bits of fluff to be everywhere. A little bit of oil here on the back, most likely a leak of the valve cover, but you can't really see because the spark plug wire harness piece is in the way. Okay, gonna lower the hood. I love the way that these hoods open backwards. Very cool, very, I mean, I would say very BMW style, except not very many BMWs these days open that way anymore. Okay, gorgeous looks of the E30, and going up in price. Even these M Technics are rather expensive, and pardon me, I don't know how to pronounce it properly. In Japan they call them M Tech or M Technic, and the long version would be M Technic, but I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. They are in English M Technic, but so I don't know, Technic or Technique, don't know. Anyway, let's go over the auction inspection sheet. Then I'm going to go around the vehicle and show any of the damages, and then onto the interior. And the M Technic, the special parts are, you get a different front bumper that is very different looking from the original front bumper. It makes the car look a lot more aggressive in the front. You also get different side cladding with the M Technic logo in it. Also, that's on the rear spoiler. The rear spoiler is a bi-level, so it has the higher level spoiler there. And then if you look around the back, there's a second spoiler underneath. Very cool. Different rear bumper. And then, of course, the interior has different seats, different steering wheel, and different rear seats. Okay, auction inspection sheet. Let's translate. So it's a 1991 BMW 3 Series 2.0. It's 320i M Tech. It's an official one. Auction rated 3.5, interior C, 128,710 kilometers. It says original black, but it's actually gunmetal gray. Kind of a weird seller. How is this black? I don't know. Automatic transmission, and available in manual, I think, but most of the ones in Japan are automatics. Nonetheless, the automatics are still very much sought after. I think as people get older, the automatics are coming up in value as, you know, the people who know about this car from an earlier generation are starting to feel like, I want to own that car. I want to own the same car I owned before, but I'm ready for an automatic transmission now. Saggy headliner in there. Okay, so purchase from user. This is a one-owner vehicle, which is pretty amazing for the age of this one, being over 25 years old now. It's a left-hand drive, which is important to note because in Japan you can get left-hand drive and right-hand drive, both. Were sold brand new here in Japan. Usually the higher level cars, like the M Tech or the E30 M3, they would be the ones that come in the left-hand drive because they would be opposite of what Japan usually has. It comes with a sunroof. It's true. Okay, original wheels, and yeah, great looking wheels on this. And I mentioned in the wheel and tire video, which comes as part of the report, that we sold a number of M Technics and we have the E30, and I've seen other wheels on the M Technics, so I don't know if they changed the wheels within the model range, but these look great, and I believe that they're made by BBS. And they're only a 14, but they suit the car really well. I like it very much. Okay, first time at auction. Owner's manual warranty papers come with it and other paperwork and stuff. So here's the report. It says headliner is saggy, and so there's that section there that I told you about. Also the sunroof liner is saggy, which I suppose I can show you, but I do have a picture as part of the report. AC doesn't work. Interior is dirty and has animal hair and wear. There's actually, it's quite clean inside in my opinion, and I don't see any animal hair and very little amount of wear. So yeah, this guy was drinking too many sakes maybe. Steering wheel cracked and peeling. It's not that bad, but it is a very valuable part of the car, so it might be a point of concern. It looks like it can definitely be restored fairly easily. Rear spoiler paint peeling, it's pretty bad, and various scratches and dents. And then if you look at the body here, both side skirts have some damage. We have large scratches here, and we have paint cracks and large scratches on this one. We also have an AU2 here. That one is a scratch and a dent of medium size. I'll show you that now, otherwise I might forget. Okay, and then paint fade on the trunk, roof, and on the hood, as well paint stains. And so a lot of people wonder what a paint stain looks like. This is a good example of it. See that? So there was something like bird poo on there that wasn't cleaned up, and it had damaged the paint. So here you can see, is there fade on there? It actually doesn't look that bad, but there's a lot of peeling on the rear spoiler. There you can see. But fade wise, I would say it's not bad at all. Now once you get the car clean, I mean this one just came from the auction, sat in the lot for a couple of days, and then we're shooting a report. The cars are usually dirty, but they do get washed in the port before they go out. They still arrive dirty because they sit in the boat for a long time to go over to the other countries. Yeah, it's good. Not that really that bad. There's a couple of places. There's paint peeling right down here. And then it says paint peeling on the front bumper. So you can see some scratches through here. And then the paint peeling section is right here. And there's a gash right there. And so the auction sheet also says scratched bumper. And then, wow, cool looking headlights. Especially for people like me. Where I come from Canada, we didn't get these cool Euro lights. Okay, so I'm going to do once around, and then I suppose I can take a look at some of the other damages on it. But the car as a whole looks really good. Looks like it needs a little bit of, restorations here or there. It is a car that's going to be going up in value. Like, for example, this car is, I don't know, maybe 10 years after the BMW 2002. And even the non-turbo versions of the 2002 BMW are coming up in price now. The E30s are going to do the same thing. They're already on the way up, but they're going to continue being a car that people go after because the styling is very unique of the 80s. There really is nothing else like that, because styling before this was swoopy and soft, and the styling after was swoopy and soft, well, at least after the E36. And so the very hard corners, stout front end, very good engine, great driving dynamics, if not superb handling, feels great to drive. Okay, so I showed you this one. If you come down here, you see this section here has some paint cracks on it and some scratches. Basically the same thing on the other side. But the side panels themselves look to be in quite good condition. See some scuff on the plastics, scuff plate piece. It's a nice steep rake on the rear window. I think it's a very good look, and I think I've mentioned it in another video. Maybe it didn't go on the channel. I quite like the look of the rear window on this compared to the M3, because the M3 has a faster rake on it. I actually like the more notchy back of these. Still has the Japanese plate on it, and this is actually an older style plate. I don't think I have a plate that I can, oh I do. So notice this one here has only the 2 numbers there. So current plate, like this one over here, you'll see it has 3 numbers there. And so that's one way you can tell. I think that these ones stopped in like the very early 90s. And so very rare to see a plate that's that old on a car. Peeling paint on the badges, but that's a very easy fix. Maybe a more difficult... Maybe a more difficult fix would be these ones, because those ones are not standard roundels, and would be important to get the right ones to match the wheels, because the wheels themselves are in good condition. And then 2014 tires make them still usable tires. 2015, pardon me. And kind of weird that somebody bought new tires for this car in 2015 and then never drove it, because it doesn't look like the kind of car that is in good enough condition to use as like a fashion piece. I don't know if that's the right word, but like most likely this wasn't a daily driver for the person, because the tires have no wear on them after the last 3 years, and so this was a second car to drive around to kind of feel cool, and it's not quite there in condition with things like the spoiler being like this. So I'm a little bit confused on that. The car is definitely easy to bring back up to a really good condition, or you can drive it like this and have a nice daily. But here in Japan, an older car like this is very, very rare compared to how it is in America, where this one's going. And so you still see E30s on the road in America. You very rarely ever see them here in Japan. Okay, so steering wheel cracking. Take a look at the top there. And then the same thing's going on at the bottom. And you can see the M Sports mark, or the M Technic. They changed the name to M Sports. M Technic there. You get your different seats with the cool little badge there. And these are excellent seats. BMW needs to make seats as good as these now. They're very slim. They're everything that you need and nothing that you don't. They're comfortable and they're supportive, but they don't feel like the most comfortable seats when you sit in them, but after you have experience driving them for a while, you'll really start to like a seat like this. That's my opinion on it. And then back seats, you can see that they match the same fabric. And it has, this one here is the turnstile come out piece, and I love it. It's not the click out style, so the turnstile is good. You can set it to infinite variations instead of the 6 or so clicks that you typically get in a click style one that they put in I think the E36. Okay, again with the dashboard, everything that you need and nothing that you don't. This is centered towards the driver, very easy to handle. The buttons feel squishy, especially like kind of weird feeling. Don't really care for that, and I prefer to have those controls on the door so that you can do them both at the same time. You have to have really wide hands and uncomfortable position to do both at the same time here. Okay, generally clean. You can see some dirt in there, but that's, I think, relatively recent dirt. That zip tie is for sure. AC obviously doesn't work. Saggies here. That works. I just noticed something interesting. It says overheat here, but you're not getting any temperature overheat readings. So you're going to want to check that when you receive the car. I don't know what that particularly means. I've never owned an E30 myself, and I don't think we've ever had one overheat on us before. It could just be that that lamp is on by accident, because German cars with their electronic problems, there's always going to be a warning lamp or something on. Whoops. Ah, come on. Okay, so there we have it. 1991 M Technic, or M Technic. Don't know how to pronounce it. And yeah, good looking car, generally pretty good condition. Definitely worth salvaging. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much, and have a nice day.